All right, stream it up. Welcome. September 2nd, 2018, 9/2/28, live stream. Happy Labor Day for everyone joining me this Sunday. Thank you for everyone that you joined me today and really every Sunday and being a part of the channel. I appreciate it. So just going to wait, going about a minute early. So just waiting for people to join and connect. So we got a minute to go here before we get started, but thank you for joining me. Welcome, Tudor, Janet, everybody here. People are trickling in now. Hopefully the internet connection stays well on there. Ryan, Hunter, Boyd. And I don't know what you guys want to talk about, but Fear the Walking Dead is tonight. I'm going to talk about Fear the Walking Dead, a little bit of the comic stuff because it comes out on Wednesday. And just some stuff you want to talk about. If you're checking out the live stream, post live stream, the replay of it, obviously spoiler warning, have to say that, but don't want to ruin anything for anybody. If you don't want to know, people are going to ask questions and I just answer them on there too. So today is Sunday, September 2nd, 2018, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about. If you're in the States and you celebrate Labor Day, that is tomorrow. So hopefully you have a good vacation day off. Whatever you're doing, hopefully relaxing, maybe barbecuing or whatever. But I'm just going to be doing nothing. Got to do yard work, stuff like that, editing my book series, and probably have some videos for you as well. But there's a lot of good information going around this season, this filming season, I guess you should say, for The Walking Dead. It's been crazy. More and more information has come out. They've leaked some news, some information, some stuff. And the latest stuff has been about the casting of Beta. Pretty cool stuff. I can't remember if I talked about it last time or not, but I'll talk about it here as well. And we have some pictures that we talked about in another video about Negan, Jeffrey Dean Morgan being seen on a set or something there. I'm not sure if it's for the show or something else, but it's just hard to tell. But it looks like it could be Negan this season for sure. So what you got here? He's got a bunch of people posting questions for me already. Top chat, super chat, live chat, all that stuff. Welcome for sure on there. James, question: what story in the comics do you wish made it to the show? I don't know. I think they've done a pretty good job. I would have liked to tweak a couple things here and there from the comic. I would have liked to have seen snow. Like, I think the biggest thing and the biggest way that they're not doing certain things is the environment, the snow, the seasons, the changing of that. I would want to see that in some way coming to the show, but I doubt it ever will because it's not cost feasible to film that. And they stopped filming in November or mid-November typically on there, and they film end of April, early May. So that's not really the snow months. And if they did, I don't know if they would film for it, sure. But October 7th, we'll be here before you know it, guys. We're vastly approaching a month away. This upcoming Friday will be the 1 month where we go. So your worst nightmare. Would you think Negan rise to power again? Well, I don't know. I think we're going to have a remix of things. We're going to have a twist of the Negan dynamic because of the whole Rick situation. So if Rick dies or he leaves or whatever, Rick is not going to be in power anymore. So say he dies, he's definitely gone. If he goes somewhere else, then he's not going to be in power. Maggie, if she leaves, that's going to be two major leaders of the different communities. Where's the leadership going to go? Maybe it goes to a different character. I think Michonne will be the best leader for Alexandria. Maybe Daryl runs Hilltop, but I doubt that would happen, right? Negan, what's going to happen with Negan? Is he going to be coming back around as a big character? I think so. I think they're keeping him around for a long, long time. I think him and Norman Reedus are going to have to coexist, which is going to hurt the storyline because I don't think Daryl wants any part of the Saviors. It's kind of like the Chandler Riggs that Carl wanted to kill Negan, and then he didn't, and he went there and he saw the sanctuary, but you never had the feeling that Carl would not want to kill Negan. Turns out Carl died, Negan lives on, and the rest is history. But it just doesn't make sense. It's just a weird thing. And if they do that with Daryl, that could be kind of crappy as well. The Daryl Negan situation is not something I want to see go on for a long time. Tutor Q&A, Brian, you think the beta casting will hurt the show? And Ryan too. Some OP fans will root for beta no matter how screwed up beta is, so they are doomed with this casting. I don't think so. I think that Ryan Hurst is a big actor from other stuff to bring into this show. I think the casting is good. If you brought a wrestler in, that probably would have been better. If you brought in an Undertaker or something like that in there for that, it probably would have been a better casting of it. But people like Ryan Hurst. People like Sons of Anarchy. So they're going to tune in. Will the character of Beta really not be good for that actor? I don't think so. I think I've never seen Sons of Anarchy, so I don't know if Opie is a good guy, bad guy, if he's going to be some Beta-esque things. I just know who Beta is from the character from the comic. It could be a little different remix of that for the show. But, they're going to do little twists and takes on it. The whole thing with Carl now being Henry and Lydia, that's going to be a weird little take on it too. Because certain things, but is it really going to hurt the show that much? Again, not everybody reads the comics to what we're going to get for the show. But the show is going to be done one way or another. And I like the idea of Ryan Hurst. And the more I'm seeing the actor, what I'm reading about him, being ready for the show, putting it in there too, I think that Ryan Hurst can bring a lot of people to The Walking Dead. But I would think that people that were watching Sons of Anarchy were already watching Walking Dead. But you might get some people over there. And that's what they want to do as well too. So yeah, I don't know. I just don't know much about Opie from Sons of Anarchy, so I can't weigh in on that. I'm definitely going to continue to watch that show. Don't know what it entails for that character, but I want to see what it is. But I don't know, biker stuff and whatever. There's going to be some good bikers and bad decisions of both sides, I would assume. So I'm not sure if Opie's just a good general guy that you root for. You're probably not going to root for Beta unless you're kind of a Ryan Hurst fan. So I see what you're saying there, Tudor. I can see what your point of that is. So I don't know what to make of it, but Beta is going to bring some major problems for a lot of people here, even more so than Alpha. So the Beta character, Ryan Hurst has to know what he's signing up for. He's got to know what the deal is with it. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. So let's talk about, boy, do you think Fear the Walking Dead should be retconned? I guess just probably redone, I guess what you're trying to say there. But I think Fear the Walking Dead, what I read about it tonight is going to be, Morgan, June, Althea, kind of their episode. It's actually directed by Strand, who is Coleman Domingo in real life. So we'll see if he does a good job with that. I don't know what to make of it. I don't think it's going to be the best episode ever, but a lot of people are giving Fear the Walking Dead a chance. A lot of people stop watching it, and people are saying the ratings are great. People love it. Do they really? I mean, they got 3 million views the past couple episodes, and I don't really care too much about the views. I care about the quality of the show. I care about the content versus the actual viewers on it. But I think the idea of when the football season comes back, and football comes back this Thursday, well, NFL football, college is already back. Next Sunday, the football is going to be back on. Sunday Night Football is going to definitely take some viewers away of Fear the Walking Dead, I would think. So we'll see what happens with it. We'll see what happens when there's other shows coming on Sundays to see what the actual things are. Because in the summer, there's nothing on. But Fear the Walking Dead, I'm not really sure. There's never really been a good villain this season. There really hasn't ever been a good villain of that series. And you have to have good versus bad, what to root for on there too. And that's a detriment of The Walking Dead. When Negan came around, that really hurt the show. And I had a great picture of it, and I'll probably post it on my Instagram. But do you think Negan hurt the show? Do you think he is the cause of a lot of problems here? And I know a lot of people say, no, the writers and this and that. Well, the writers bringing Negan to the show. Let's rephrase that. Do you think the writers, how they portrayed Negan on the show, wrote this for that, really hurt or help the show. And I know Negan fans will say, no, he's the best ever. Negan's the greatest. But the way you have Negan versus Rick, that hurt the dynamic. Rick is the main catalyst. Rick is the man. It's the Rick Grimes show for a lot of people. It's not the Negan show. If it was, we would have followed Negan from the very beginning at the hospital and how he came about, and if it was this and that. And I like that idea of it. I do kind of agree with if we were following Negan from the beginning, we would probably hate Rick Grimes. But that's not how it works. When you watch The Sopranos, you like Tony Soprano. Even though he's a psychopath, he's a killer, he's a character, but you're still liking what Tony does. You're seeing it from Tony's eyes. Whoever goes against Tony is wrong. Whoever goes against Rick Grimes is wrong. And Negan, they did a lot of things that hurt the show. I think killing off Abraham and Glenn was probably the big thing, but Negan was involved with that. The season 7 Negan Savior storyline was probably the worst and probably will be the worst season of the series. And that was the biggest part for Negan on there too. So I just don't like the idea of Negan being imbalanced with Rick and Negan and that whole thing. It's confusing. It's like, who do we root for? Are we supposed to like Negan or not? And that's how they write Negan. Negan is supposed to be a complicated person. He has morals. He has a code. He doesn't hurt women. He doesn't hurt children. He saves people. We are the saviors. He's saving people. Saviors. Hence the point of that. I think the idea, Tony Soprano could have taken, that's for sure. Tony would have done it. I really wish there was like a mafia character in The Walking Dead. You know, I like that idea of it, and maybe there's a character like that coming in my book series, but I like that idea of like having maybe it's an Irish mafia member or, Italian mafia member or whatever. It's just kind of cool to think that. That would be kind of funny to see it. The personality would be over the top and it would just be kind of crazy, but I think that would be kind of cool. But Negan overall, and it's tough to say, I like Negan from Jeffrey Dean Morgan's standpoint, even though a lot of people are like, Negan looks sick. Jeffrey Dean Morgan needs to eat a sandwich. I think he's like vegan or something because there's no way that he's that skinny just from, if you saw him in prior roles, the Lookaman and Watchmen, The Losers, other movies like that, he's definitely heavier. Maybe he changed something with his wife on there too, but I just think that it's kind of too sickly looking. He should be bigger. I said that before and I'll say it again. So it's definitely vegan Negan. Hi, I'm vegan. Yeah, that's almost like too perfect for him to be vegan, with holding the thing of celery instead of Lucille. But hopefully you've seen the pictures that I posted in a recent video about Negan. Jeffrey Dean Morgan was on set with some guy, and I'm not sure where it is. If it's in a house, if it's in Alexandria, if it's some other thing, because from where we think that Negan, he goes into the woods. He's let out by Brandon, and he goes into the woods and meets Alpha and sees how crazy the Whisperers are and then comes back. Are we going to see that whole thing play out this season? I think so. I think Negan is going to be in charge of carrying the show in some aspect. And a lot of people aren't going to like that. My other question to you guys, if you're a Rick fan or Team Rick, do you like Negan? Or can you put up with Negan? Or can you think and feel like Negan having a bigger part is good or not? If you're a Negan fan, you want to have the Negan show. You want to have Negan all over the place. You love Negan. But if you like Rick, and Rick's gone now, can you continue on with the Negan aspect of the show? It's not going to be the Negan show. I don't think Negan is going to be the main catalyst person. If they do, they could. They could, again, the writers can do whatever they want. Trust me, they've already done a lot of dumb things and have already done some things. But we still have Daryl and Michonne and Aaron and Jerry, hopefully, and Ezekiel, Carol, a lot of big characters too. But I just don't see them getting along with Negan. Michonne might have to be the new Rick for the future of Negan and Negan and Rick coming together to coexist. Like in the comic, it's awkward with Rick and Negan at some point, and I guess that has to be Michonne now. Because how could it be Daryl? That whole dynamic is just going to be stupid again. Like I was saying it before, like you had Chandler Riggs, or you had Carl wanting to kill Negan, and then a season later he does a 180 and he's like, let's keep Negan around. We have to build for the future and work together. Burnt crap. That's just terrible writing. How could they better not do that with Daryl? Daryl was beat up by the Saviors and Negan, punished, tortured, beat. Just not, you're never going to want to be that person. You never want to be okay with that person. I'm not buying into that one bit. So Daryl coming together with Negan at some point doesn't work. Maybe Michonne and Negan working together, but I just will never buy the fact that Daryl and Negan can work together ever. And the rest of the series, I just don't. So, I don't want to see certain things happen, but the writers do what the writers do. Zound. I mean, Scott Gimple is to blame a lot because he was the man in charge, but the dynamics of what they wanted to do, I'm not sure what they really did some good choices in season 7. So, just bad writing is where it starts. Whoever has the writing principles, and the top writer, the showrunner, it falls back on them. And you don't really think about it as you watch the shows, but the writing table in the writer's room, you're sitting there. Like if I was sitting there and you're like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to have Daryl get kidnapped. Glenn and Abraham are going to die. Daryl's going to escape. He's going to have a chance to do this, but then he's not. It's like, how can you justify some of the things? We're going to all right, Carl's going to come and save Sadiq and then get bit, but we're not going to show it. And I just feel like the Rick Grimes situation we're getting in season 9 is going to be crappy. It's not going to be satisfying. It's not going to be a satisfying conclusion of the Rick Grimes story. I just don't feel like it's going to be. No matter how it's done or what it is, I just feel like it's going to be, crap. Because just look at a Dumpster Gate with Glenn, and it just was annoying with that. And even though he survived, I'm glad that happened, but I just don't know. So hopefully you've seen the pictures that are in the latest video, one of the latest videos that we have, and you've seen Andrew Lincoln in, and I thought it was funny that someone was complaining about me calling it the United Kingdom. Well, because I don't know exactly where he is, if it's Great Britain or England or London or whatever. I don't know. I've never been over there. I don't know. But, when people post that he was in the United Kingdom, I just say United Kingdom. I have no idea. So either way, Rick Grimes, Andrew Lincoln, was not in the United States. He was not in Georgia. He has not been in the United States probably since Comic-Con when he did the panels and then he left and has been back overseas since then. So by my count is that the last episode he has been a part of, episode 905. So I don't know when he's coming back, if he's coming back ever again. And if he is, it's probably a short, little, small segment at the end or towards the end of the season. Hopefully by October or November. I would love for Andrew Lincoln to come to Walker Stalker in Atlanta and do one more final panel on that Sunday like he's been doing. Because around that time, that could be episode 15 or 16 when they're filming. So if he's back at Walker Stalker in Atlanta, there's a good chance that he could be filming the last episode of season 9, the finale. But that's weeks away. I think they're filming episode 9-10 this week, maybe around 9/11, but they're not any farther away from that. They came back. They had a week off, and then they started filming episode 909. And I think they're either wrapping that up or starting 910. They've been at Raleigh Studios for a while. I don't know if it was, the whole week before that, but they were at Raleigh Studios. So they were either at Hilltop, Saviors, the Sanctuary, in the woods, or something else around there. Because I don't know what was actually being filmed. It's hard to tell. I believe the word is that they were filming or upcoming filming for this week, maybe the end of this week, maybe even into next week, is that they're going to be in Hogansville, Georgia. I have no idea where that is. I don't know anything about it. I just know that they're blocking off streets and they had the things going around for that. So if you know where Hogansville, Georgia is, they'll be filming there very, very soon. So I know that filming of The Walking Dead has been kind of hushed the past week. But overall, we've gotten a lot of great information about time jumps, this and that. It's just kind of crazy for it there too. So, Caleb, can anyone please tell me if The Walking Dead is out, because it is Sunday and I want to watch? No, The Walking Dead Season 9 comes back October 7th. That's Season 9 starts. Fear the Walking Dead is back this Sunday on there too. So, yeah, I don't know, Projected Alliance, so it's silly to say, but citizens take it personal. The 4 countries of British Isles are politically driven. So exactly, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what it is, what to call it. Britain, London. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody there too. I just had no idea. But when someone posts that Andrew Lincoln was seen here and they say UK, it's just definitely not the States. So I just know that. So I just want to know for that too. How do you think Negan will be affected to Rick's death? That's if Rick dies again on there too. I don't know. I think he'll take it hard. I think Rick will impact Negan and Negan will impact Rick, and that's the whole dynamic we want to have, because again, they're talking in the jail cell. They're having that whole dynamic. So I want to see how that plays out. It should be a very interesting first half of Season 9. Pretty cool. I'm very, very excited for it, and hopefully you are as well. Do you think Rosita will get her comic death? I don't know now because of... So if you lost Rick, Maggie, Rosita, and Jesus, theoretically, that's a lot of losses. But that's continuing the way it is. So Season 7, we lost Sasha. We lost Sasha, Glenn, and Abraham in Season 7. Season 8, we lost Carl. Season 9, we're going to lose even more. Season 10, if it gets greenlight, which it should, just not sure what it is. So I always thought they took on, Paul Ego, they did. They took a week off in August, so they were right. So they're still on track. So they finish up right before Thanksgiving. You're right with the filming for that, so they should be right on there. But they also started kind of maybe a little week earlier to start there too, so I think it should be right before it as well. It is, but yeah, exactly. We're getting a bunch of people here and there too. So, and then eventually, you never know, we might get Fear the Walking Dead coming over to The Walking Dead. But okay, so we have Magna, Luke, Connie, Kelly, Yumiko. They're big characters, but are they really? We got Sadiq to fill in the void there, but you lost this character in there too. We have, maybe some other characters. Are we ever going to see Georgie come back? But we have new characters, but you can't just lose old characters like that. You can't just have, even if Magna and Yumiko are pretty cool characters, they're not going to replace Rick and Maggie. There's just no way about it. You can't just have that for sure. What you got, Janet? Q&A, why did Janice want 12 people from Negan? What did she plan to do with them? That's a great question. I don't know if we ever found out that. I don't know. I would think that she wanted the 12 people from 10 or 12 people, whatever she was going to get, to make the Winslow walkers. The Winslow walkers. And then Winslow 2.0. And I just think that she was going to make other walkers with them. I think that's what she was doing with the 12 people is what I think. There's just no way to tell what that was, because that's something there too. I would love for somebody to ask Robert Kirkman or Gimple that question. You can't ask, Pollyanna McIntosh, because she probably won't really answer it. I think Kirkman or somebody would definitely answer that question, but that's one of those things that we need to know. We got to know where Heath is. We want to know where Sherry is. What's going to happen with Dwight? There's still no word or sight or viewing of Dwight. Maybe he comes back when they're filming at Raleigh Studios, but I just think he's connected with the Whispers. I just think it makes sense for him because there's been no sight of him, and he was kicked out by Daryl. So I think a little remix of it could be that he's a Whisper, and I think that would actually be pretty cool. I think that we're going to get little remixes and twists this season, as we always do. We always get little things from the comic that are remixed to a different character or something, but we get a lot of them for sure on there. Let's see what we got. Do you think Season 9 will be a big mess, or will Season 9 be the redemption we were hoping for? I'm thinking the latter. Yeah, Mr. McKenzie, I'm hoping that we have a good episode that builds for the future. If they do it right, we can lose Rick and people will still be interested and the story can continue. According to Kari Payton, the script and the information and the way it goes after that is like, all right, let's get to work. Let's get going is what they said. Enid, Caitlin Nakin said the same thing, that she was, thinking she had doubts after the whole Rick situation, but after reading stuff, pretty interesting to see where it goes. How do you think the Carl story will play out? Well, I guess you're saying Carl, in the Lydia situation. I would just assume they're going to insert Henry, kick out Carl, put Henry right in, and put it there, and that's what it's going to be. Henry is supposed to take place of Carl now that he's gone. I just think that's what they're trying to do with it. So I'm just hoping that the episodes make sense. They build and build and build. They don't kind of ask more questions. We need to know certain answers. Hopefully we don't get another Morales situation where we've been waiting for something like Heath and then it's answered in a stupid way. I just don't want that. So, Brian, which characters will probably die by the hands of the Whisperers? Well, I still think Rick does. I think that there's no word on the lineup with the heads on the posts. There's just no way to tell for it who's going to be on there. I would think you'll get some Saviors, you'll get some Alexandrians, you'll get some Oceansiders, you'll get a bunch of people, a hodgepodge of people together coming there too. Projected line, do you think that even if season 9 will be good, people still won't be watching historically? Once the show hits a low, it will never pick up. Yeah, I think that the episodes are going to be what they are. I don't think the viewers will be as many as they had back in season 4 and 5. But I think that people are saying a lot of stuff that they're not going to watch. But if you know, because you knew that Carl was dying in the episode, if you knew this channel, you also knew it from that he got bit and they were like, Carl's final episode. I don't know the numbers and I don't care about the viewers and the ratings of 809. But I would assume it was very high because we all knew that Carl was going to be gone. AMC told us. I would think that they might do the same thing with Rick to draw people in, to make people watch. I think it makes sense for that to happen. People are going to watch certain episodes. Certain episodes will have really high ratings and some won't if they do away. But I think the season 9 premiere, they need to be careful of not giving too much away because they have to draw people in. But I think it'll still get a bunch of viewers. But if it gets 4 million, 5 million viewers a Sunday, I think that's still a win, and it's got a long way to go probably. But I think we're going to get probably 11 seasons. I think we'll get this season, of course, and then season 10, and then season 11 will be the final season of The Walking Dead, which is a long time. If you think about it too, like I've been rewatching The Sopranos and rewatching certain episodes. I watch Better Call Saul, and Breaking Bad was 5 seasons, which is arguably one of the best series ever. Game of Thrones is coming up on the final season. They kind of draw it out for the final 8th season, but it could have been 7 seasons. But after a while, this isn't a medical drama. This isn't ER and all that stuff that's been going on for so long and so many seasons. And I would assume like Grey's Anatomy on there too. This is a zombie apocalypse niche science fiction show. I don't know how much longer it's got left. But they messed up a lot of things starting with season 7. 6 seasons of a show is usually how long a show lasts. And then it's off the air. This is, going into longer seasons of it. And they still like the dynamic of Star Trek. The Walking Dead could be a certain way, and then they kind of have a reboot of things, and they come back. The Walking Dead, I think, would come back at some point because it was so big and so huge. I think they would have to try to reboot it and revamp it some way on there, too. Tudor Brian, you think that they will make the Whisperers more PG like the Governor? I hope so. I don't know what they're going to do with the Whispers because the Whispers are kind of terrible and they can get away with some of this stuff in the comic versus the show. I don't know what they're actually going to do and bring to the show. But again, they got ratings. They got certain things. They can't do certain things with it. like the Governor and Michonne, that was definitely different from the comic to the show. And I think they'll have to do certain things. I'm going to assume the big things will happen with Negan and Alpha But other than, I don't know, with the whole Lydia Henry thing, I'm not sure what they're going to do with some of that aspects. But they probably did the time jump with that because they want them to be older. They want them to be, almost adults, like 18 years old is probably what they want them to be. It's probably why they're doing the time jump situation, because it could be a little weird when you're seeing teenagers do certain things on camera and you're like, that's a little too much. I don't really think people want to watch that too. So, Paul Eagle, I liked Andrew's performance in 7-1, which is episode 701. Andrew Lincoln definitely did a great job. That was probably his best acting, his best ability I've seen on the series was episode 701. 701 was probably the best episode of that season, and then it just really went downhill after that. I think 701 is a huge episode for kind of the demise of The Walking Dead, but also great performances in that episode. I remember being sad and actually crying when Maggie was, crying, looking at, Glenn and everything. And, when Rick comes in and says, like, we have to help you. He's our family too. He's our family too. It's sad. It's just one of those things that just gets you. And if you didn't feel sad for those characters, you just don't care. You just don't really care about that stuff too. So, yes, Jerry does rule. I want to see Jerry be around for a long time, but I'm worried about Jerry. I am worried about him this season. Mr. McKenzie, I miss T-Dog as well. And if you ever have a chance to meet Iron E. Singleton, is his name? Yes, it's Iron E. Singleton. And he's been on the cruise, and he's been a bunch of different times. And he's actually very animated and pretty cool. He's been in a lot of different roles as well. But I want to see if anybody gets a chance to meet Rick's snot bubble. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Tamara, or is it Jan? My Belgium peeps on there too. Do you think the survival aspect will play a bigger role in season 9? I hope so, because this is a zombie survival show. This isn't a drama with zombies possibly in it, with a dash of zombies. It isn't like having a little soap opera with some zombies in it. This is a survival drama zombie apocalypse show. We need to get back to that. We need to have that again. Seasons 4. Season 5, we need those aspects, the survival aspect. They got a little too cozy at Alexandria, and that's kind of watered down the show a little bit too. But again, they were going out on runs and this and that and going there. But in a zombie apocalypse, how many runs can you do? If it's so many years into the zombie apocalypse, you can't go back to a store and have to go and expect to find products when it's already looted. It's already gone. You got to make your own stuff. You got to farm off the land, live off the land. You got to plant stuff, have it grow, fruits and vegetables, this and that. So I like the idea of having that be there. But I want to know survival is the aspect, and they're still trying to work together. People, walkers, hungry, environment, water, shelter, food. It all matters. Exactly. The big spot of season 4, the beginning of that, the first episode, was pretty cool. That drew a lot of people in. People wanted to know what was going on with that. So hopefully we'll see that Angela Kang, and everybody's talking about that it's going to get back to that season 4, season 5 feel. This season is what her goal was. And we'll see what she does. I think she does a great job already. And she's probably inherited a lot of crap because of the whole Carl situation and Rick leaving and this happening and that happening and this part of the story. But every time she's done an interview or had information or some article comes out, I'd like Angela Kang already. I like it for sure. So, Ryan, Gigi, what do you mean by that? Any new news for The Walking Dead? Well, the new news is that we have our beta, we have our alpha, we have our Lydia, we have our Magna, we have our this. They've been filming at Raleigh Studios. We have a lot of stuff going around there. But I believe they were filming at Alexandria a couple days ago. So I want to see what happens with that. We don't know what's happened with Negan 100%. And we just don't know there. They're going to be filming in Hogansville, Georgia, upcoming. They'll be in there filming for a while, and I'm guessing they're in episode 10, 9-10 is where it's at there too. Yeah. Yeah, Rosanna, that fish is something that would be very important as well. Fishing, and You know what would be kind of tough though? Like they had a funny picture of it on one of the groups I'm in, and they said like, if you were in a zombie apocalypse, what fast food would you miss the most? You know? And I don't know. I would definitely miss a good hamburger because that would just be rough. I would miss pizza. I would miss, a good chicken sandwich. I would miss a lot of things there too. It'd be like, oh man, I'm just killing for something like that. It'd be tough on there too. Max PRP, very cool that you're in the Fight for Us guild on the No Man's Land. Love that. I love that. We're doing well, man. We're doing some good things on there too. Hopefully we got a bunch of people playing that No Man's Land. If you are, our guild I think is full, but we add people and drop people from time to time on there too. So, but we just ask that you play the game for sure on there. Yeah, Whiskey Cavalier. I'm not sure about that, Boyd. I'm not sure if Lauren Cohan is going to do big things after The Walking Dead, because I don't care about mile 22. I don't care about Whiskey Cavalier. I don't care about any other project that she's been in that came out right there. Michael Cutlass is actually a really great actor. I'm excited about his show that's coming out on ABC this fall. Looks pretty funny. John Bernthal has probably had it pretty awesome after The Walking Dead. So is Merle. So is, Denai Guerrera. Beth's been struggling. Certain actors have been struggling on there too to make a career after The Walking Dead. But I'm sure they got paid pretty well, and hopefully they're saving money on there too. Rosanna, lobsters. You getting lobsters? Well, I guess it depends where you are. Like, I live in Florida. I don't know how we're getting lobsters down here in Tampa Bay. But, yeah, you can definitely live off the land with seafood for sure. And that would be pretty interesting to have that. But, yeah, a lot of pizza. Yeah, it's just tough. That'd be really tough, It's already tough now. Like, lose power for like a couple days. Can't go out. Like last year, it was actually around this time last year that Hurricane Irma came. And it's tough. I lost power for 4 days. And then certain stores weren't open, and then certain stores were getting more and more open. But that was 4 days that the world was turned upside down. Imagine if it was 40 days or, 4 months or whatever it is. That would be so hard to do. And you're driving past or you're walking past McDonald's or Burger King or Taco Bell or Chick-fil-A or Five Guys or Pizza Hut or Domino's or a mom and pop pizza place or wherever you go, and you're like, man, I just wish that was on. And that's how it was for the hurricane. I can't imagine what it would be like from the zombie apocalypse, because you're like, oh man, I would just kill for a hamburger right now or a good slice of pizza. That's for sure. Protected Lion. Did you like the 28 Days Months Later films? Actually, I haven't really watched all of them entirely. I've been watching clips on them because I want to watch it and all together. But that was just a little before me. It was just the zombies were a little. I don't really like fast zombies. I don't really like the idea of World War Z style zombies. I'm more of the slow, methodical, slow zombie, like, Dawn of the Dead type of thing, where you're in the mall and you're like, going around, and you can just hit them with the plant or something and get away on there. I would love to see that. So that's my type of zombie on there too. Max, what did you do first? What do you do first in a zombie apocalypse, Bri? Well, depends on where you are. I always thought about it too. Like, if you were in a zombie apocalypse and you don't know when the zombie apocalypse started. It could start in your city, in your town, right where you are, somewhere else, and go around or spread. But what if you're like driving to work and you're stuck in traffic on there too? I think the first thing is you have to get to safety. You want to get to, where your loved ones are. And it depends on where you're at, because that's the whole dynamic. Is like, if you're driving to work, or what if like you really had to go to the grocery store and you had no food in your house? Or you were homesick, or you're on vacation, or you were, just a regular day for you. It's just kind of funny. You would see Robert Kirkman totally stole the idea of Rick waking up in a hospital right from 28 Days Later. Well, yeah, R. Perez 34. I saw the guy who plays Scarecrow in the Batman movies, where he's walking around in the scrubs with his clothes or something in a bag, and he's walking down the streets in London and walking there and walking there. And I saw that. I've seen different things, but yeah, it's I can see that idea that he definitely either borrowed from or thought of or remixed on there too, because no one owns the zombie apocalypse. Like, it's not like, oh, you own that. But if you steal certain big things from it, I can kind of see for what it is, where that guy's walking around getting out of the hospital and you're like, oh, well, that kind of sounds familiar, you know? Where'd that come from? But I guess it's a little tweak. And again, it's not in London. It's in, I guess it was in, Kentucky originally, not Georgia, his hometown of Kentucky. But I don't know. It's kind of just interesting. Yeah, so he already did. Kind of took it from there. I always thought the zombie apocalypse depends what you make on it. It depends where you're at more than anything. Like, what if you were in the Bahamas on your honeymoon and you couldn't fly back and you were stuck in the Bahamas and you're from Chicago? You're not going back home. How could you get back there? Be living in Atlantis. I don't know. That'd be kind of crazy thing too. But yeah, I definitely want to check out a lot of things on there. I'm trying to find them on, YouTube and stuff, or I was trying to find them I have Amazon Prime, Netflix, and a couple other streaming services, and I can't find the 28 Days Later on there too. So trying to think about some cool things there. I saw the Train to Busan or Busan or however you say it. That was pretty cool, good dynamic, and I like the idea of just different takes on it there too. I'm really excited for the World War Z sequel whenever that's getting done. I'm really excited for Zombieland 2, which will start filming next month, I believe. Or no, I think they're actually starting in January for a release next October for Zombieland 2, which I believe is going to film in Georgia as well. They filmed the first one, a lot of parts there, so I'm really excited for it as well. I have my zombie stick sharpened. I'm ready to go. Diana's ready for the zombie apocalypse on there too. Like, I always thought, I want to see your take on this too. Like, if you were in the zombie apocalypse, what things would you like about the zombie apocalypse? What would be okay with you? I asked my wife, and she said not having to go to work, or I said like not having to pay bills. And sometimes it's like the peace and quiet. You would just be trying to survive. We were talking about it more on there. Yeah, of course, just I don't have Hulu. That's the one thing I don't have for 20. I have the other stuff. That's just funny how that would be. So I'm going to continue my search for the 28 Days on there for sure. Yeah, I think it would be interesting to not have to worry about getting up and going to your job or go to school or go to this or put up with your coworkers. Do that. You would just could stay home, worry about this. But it would be tough, man. Like, you don't have power. You don't have electricity. Your food's going bad. You don't have that. What are you going to do? Like, how are you going to get food? What are you going to have? So, like, you just would want to have ability to love to have the idea of surviving, but also I kind of would like the idea of being in the last man standing idea, where you have power and electricity, but you're not going to die of a plague or a zombie apocalypse or a virus or something like that too. But you can go do whatever you want. You don't have to go worry about going to your job or this. You can get up when you want to do it. You can go do this. You can do that. You can have that. But you have electricity, and you have it'd be on there. It'd be interesting too. So. Yeah, I guess a zombie apocalypse would be boring, but you could do a lot of things. Like, you can go out on a boat and just hang out there and come back, and you can go to a golf course and mess around with that, or you can go watch some DVDs if you have power, or you can write. You can just write for days. You can journal. You can go work out. You can do anything. You wouldn't have to do anything. Your daily routine could be so open-ended. You could do whatever you wanted to do. And you wouldn't have to worry about other people. And that would be the biggest thing, is you would not have to worry about people. That would be the best thing ever too. Because people are the worst and the best at the same time, but they're the most annoying things of it. Do you think Eric comes back, Max? I hope so. I have that whole theory and the whole idea that Eric is a walker and he's amongst the Whispers, or he's actually, his face is used as the mask on there. I think that would be as a Whisperer mask. I think that would be pretty awesome, and we need to find out what happens to him. No loose ends. Tudor, you saw the teaser for the next issue. Commonwealth got multiple communities like the Virginia group. Yeah, I don't know. I saw the teaser with Michonne, her daughter, and the Commonwealth Guard. They're going out patrolling and they're going around. But I'm interested to see what's happening with this Commonwealth, because I just feel like something's up with them, and something big's got to happen, right? Maybe they take a break from the villain role in there, but I'm excited for the Commonwealth to play out. Not on the show. I don't want to see the Commonwealth be rushed for the show. I want to see that, down the road when we have a reboot of things. But I don't want to see anything just rushed. I just don't, because it just happens where you want good storytelling. I just would like to see a couple things done right. So, yeah. All these the 50 cal would make too much noise. Yeah, I mean the best weapons are blades. You would want to have armor that a zombie can't bite, but it's also ventilated because you don't overheat. You would want to have daggers and knives, but you wouldn't. I want to have boots, shin guards, leg guards, the flak jacket, helmet guarded all around where a zombie cannot bite me by any means. It's bulletproof. It's bite-proof, it's scratch-proof, but it's also, I'm not overheating and dying in it. And I'd want to have swords and blades and daggers and guns, of course, but they make a lot of noise. I don't want to attract things. You got to be in the stealth, live in the shadows, That's what you got to do, for sure. What you got here? Oh, I missed that. There we go. Brian. I'm late. What's the news with Fear? Is Morgan going back to Alexandria? Kevin. No word on Morgan getting back to Alexandria just yet. The episode is that they're still getting around and traveling back, and Morgan and June and Althea will meet up with each other, and they're not back in Alexandria yet. I don't think that's going to happen until season 5. So this whole back half of season 4 is going to be just jumping around and this and that and that. It's not going to actually be getting anywhere towards Alexandria. So I don't know if they really should have mentioned that idea, because that's all people are going to worry about now. When's Morgan getting back? How's Morgan getting back? Is Morgan there yet? Where's he at now? Mississippi? We're getting close. We got to get to Virginia. Well, it's not going to happen for a while. Tudor, Brian, you know the story of when Steven convinced Lauren to stay on the show after the governor scene. You think that Lauren got tired by her actor getting butchered? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if there's other things with Lauren's character, well, Maggie, where she wanted a pay raise and an increase and this, and, she wanted more roles and more, more dialogue and more of a thing. And then we got that from the Hilltop, and then all of a sudden she's going to go out and do movies and another show and this, because I don't know if people want to live in a zombie apocalypse. Some characters do. Like if you're Daryl, if you're Norman Reedus, you get to ride on a motorcycle. If you like motorcycles, you get to, have a crossbow. You get to, fight and battle and do action sequences and all this cool stuff. So he's like, I'm loving this. But what if you were, a character that really didn't do much? It wouldn't really have on there. It's just kind of like, do I really want to do this? Even though Maggie's not that at all. Maggie's had a lot. She's had a big story arc, a big change. She's had different scenes, different sequences, all that stuff. It's just going to be crazy on there too. So yeah, people are excited. See, Opie from Sons of Anarchy is going to be Beta. People are excited about it. So I think that's a good casting of it. I don't think that, The Walking Dead and Ryan Hurst are worried about how people are going to perceive him because of another show. They're probably just wanting a good Beta character, and I think that's going to happen. But for those who don't know Beta, Beta is not a nice guy. I doubt Beta will be a fan favorite. Beta is going to do some bad things and some questionable things, and he's going to be there. But he's also very respectful to Alpha. There's a chain of command there too. So you can kind of see that, and I think they can do it in a right way. I don't think they're going to make, this character a total psychopath killer that's going around and doing really, 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 really terrible things. That Beta does, the Whisperers aren't good. The Whisperers aren't a good group. They're a big, interesting character group basis in The Walking Dead, but I don't think that they're going to make him a total psychopath, unrelatable, unlikable character because, Ryan Hurst probably wants to be somewhat liked, But what I see is Ryan Hurst is a pretty big guy. I've seen him at conventions. I've seen him walking around. I've seen pictures of him, and he's definitely taller than most people. He's 6'4" listed as, but they can give shoes. They can shoot him at different angles. He can be standing on things. They can do it in a way where Beta is pretty awesome. A lot of people don't know that Sonequa Martin Green, who played Sasha, is 5 feet tall. And Michael Cutlass is 6 feet tall. So when they're standing next to each other, it should be a significant decrease in height. But when you watch the prior episodes, they're kind of right on par with the height-wise. They're a little shorter here and there, but you can see differences in real life that you can definitely do it for sure. Do you like Fear's showrunners? They're okay. I don't really like the storyline of Fear. I don't really like the dynamic they're going with it. I don't like the avenues. I don't like what they've done, how it's not connected. But overall, I think they're bringing some different things. I think they like being showrunners, and I think they're doing a good thing for the, genre. But I just don't like the idea of season 3 not connecting with 4 at all, and where they're going with it is they're taking it a different way. It's almost like they should have just started a whole new show and not even caught it with Fear the Walking Dead, because that's what this is, and it's just frustrating to watch. And I don't think that's the fault of the showrunners, because it's not the same showrunner. You had a showrunner for the first 3 seasons, and anytime there's a big change, look at season 3 of The Walking Dead. You had a different showrunner for that, and then a showrunner from season 4 to season 8, and season 9 we get a different showrunner. So sometimes it can work, a lot of times it doesn't. It's on there too. So Diana, the Wolves, I wouldn't say the Wolves were like terrible. They just had this weird code. The Wolves are kind of like the Whisperers, but the Whisperers do some weird, crazy things, and the Whisperers have different outlooks on bad things in this world. I'll just say that just because it's awkward to talk about some of that topics. But the Whisperers aren't good people. The Wolves weren't good people either. But the Whisperers are definitely worse than the Wolves. We'll just say that for sure. But I'm going to go for another 10 minutes, guys, and then I'll be done for sure this Sunday. So hopefully you guys are having a lot of fun. College football is back. I know there's some games tonight. And then there's Fear the Walking Dead. Talking Dead is right after Fear the Walking Dead. So hopefully you're getting your codes for that, the TWD rewards. And hopefully you're checking out the code phrase words of the sentence that I'll be having for the giveaway, or the prize giveaway for it. And hopefully you're keeping track of those. We've had a couple words come out so far, so hopefully you're staying tuned for that in the other videos. And they're not the same videos. They're different videos. They come out on different days and different things for sure. Janet, do you think Gabriel will be killed this season, head on a pike or something else? I think Gabriel is going to be around for a while. I think Kirkman and those guys love Seth Gilliam. Just like Carol, she'll be around for a long time. If they do the head on pikes, I don't think they'll have anybody huge of character on there. But I could see like Nabila or Cal or different, just different characters for it. But I want to see what happens with the writers, what they want to do this season. For if Rick and Maggie weren't going off the show, how would that happen? Like, we would get probably the head on pikes and a bunch of those things there too. But that would be a huge introduction. I think the introduction to the Whisperers is going to be a little different for sure. So we got a lot of good points here, guys. Thank you for joining me this Sunday, September 2nd. I'm glad it's September. August was a long month, a hot month. A lot of crazy stuff happened. I'm glad that's over. I'm ready for September, then October, November, and December, I think, are the best months of the year for sure. Mr. McKenzie, do you think AMC will allow head on pikes? That's a good question, because the gore, that's a little graphic on there. It depends how they shoot it, depends how they do. They might do it from a distance at a blurry thing or something. I don't know. We got to kind of see it, though, you know? You kind of have to see. That's a big comic segment. Is it going to happen or not? I hope so. I hope it happens for sure on there this season, but I don't know what they're going to do. They got a lot of twists, a lot of turns, a lot of remixes. I'm hoping Fear the Walking Dead's getting better, but I just don't know. I'm just hoping that stuff happens with it's just worth watching. I just don't get some of the choices that they've done with it. Tudor, you think Dwight might get his own spinoff since they teased him bringing back later with Commonwealth? I don't know. I think Dwight's just going to be a whisper. I think he's connected with that. I think it's going to be the best for sure. October, November, and December. I said November kind of quiet there, Max. But I'm excited for the colder, cooler months. I'm excited for October because of Walker Stalker Atlanta. I want to see some of you guys if you'll be there. That'd be pretty awesome. I want to see what happens with the future of the show, the series. We got a lot of good movies coming out next year. 2018's been pretty great with entertainment. A lot of good movies. Hopefully you've seen A Quiet Place. If you haven't, and if you love The Walking Dead, I guarantee you'll love A Quiet Place. It's a good movie that you know. If you've seen it, don't post any spoilers because don't ruin anything. But A Quiet Place is a movie that just came out of nowhere. I think it's a good addition to the horror sci-fi kind of genre, and I definitely recommend it. If you haven't, definitely check it out. And they're going to be making another one coming out in a couple years. I think it's pretty cool too. So yeah, what's it feel like to sign your first autograph? I wonder if Paul McCartney remembers his first time. It's pretty cool. It's pretty surreal to sign an autograph. It's kind of different, just because I feel like I'm just a person who loves The Walking Dead, just like y'all. I just like being a part of everybody where everybody's connected with it, and it's just cool. It was definitely taken back, and the more that I signed, it's just definitely. I don't know if I ever get used to it. That's for sure. But I'm going to go for another 5 minutes, guys. So get your questions going on here if you have anything on there too. I'm excited for next year's. Got X-Men, Dark Phoenix. We got The Walking Dead back half. We have the Walker Stalker Cruise. We have Avengers Infinity War, or Avengers 4, the conclusion of that. Star Wars. I'm blanking on what else is going to be on there too. It's pretty interesting too. Yes, Hector. Hopefully you still have that, Hector. The autograph note on there. I put that in there, personalized for you. Hopefully you still have that from the mystery box stuff. I'm trying to get more stuff for the mystery boxes. I have some stuff coming in from Marvel stuff, horror, and just a bunch of things as well. So hopefully you guys will check out some of those boxes. Let me see, Janet, where are you at? Please check my question bar. Where you at? Let me see, Janet. Try to get you before I... Brad, do you think Eric will bite Aaron or is a whisperer wearing his skin? That's a great question. I wouldn't think that... We know that, or the word is that Aaron loses his hand or his arm or a part. So if he loses, he could get bit on the forearm. That would kind of be cool too if Aaron was a walker and he sees, Aaron sees Walker Eric, and Walker Eric turns to him, and Aaron freezes, and he puts his arm up, and Aaron gets bit by Walker Eric, and then they have to cut his arm off, and he still lives. That could happen. Or that he's wearing the Whisperer skin, is wearing with the Walker face. I like that idea. I would love to see that. I would love to see the Walker Eric connection come back with Aaron, and I have a feeling that they will do that. They left it open kind of on purpose, and that was only season 8, so that could definitely happen this season because stuff like that comes around. And I love that about The Walking Dead, and I try to, make in my writing, I try to do that too, where stuff is kind of talked about or mentioned, and then a little bit more gets mentioned, and a little bit more, and then it gets answered, or stuff comes around. It's a lead up and a build up, and I think that's just good storytelling. And I try to emulate that myself in my book series, and hopefully I'm getting better at it. And hopefully you guys check out my book series, Fight for Us, on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and I'm very excited for the future of that. I've been out shooting video footage a couple of different places. for trying to make a trailer and some segments together for that, because I would love for that to become a TV show for sure. Mitchell, do you think the numbers will drop massive when Rick dies? I think people will stop watching. Not everybody by any means, but if you had 8-9 million viewers, it might get cut in half to 4.5 million viewers. I think 4 million people will still continue to watch on. Funny thing is, Sherry's actress put on her Instagram profile that she's playing Sherry. She didn't have that there before. So yeah, she could be back playing Sherry, and hopefully she does. I want to see that make sense. I want to see that actress come back around. Maybe she's a whisperer. Maybe she's like, hey, Dwight, we got this new group. It's pretty awesome. So I'm lost on the words for the giveaway thing. Oh man, Hector, you gotta catch up. You gotta check out some older videos to see, because we already got a couple words posted, and you'll miss out if you miss on there too. But I'm gonna finish there, guys. I did my hour. I'm excited to talk to you guys this Sunday, next Sunday, and the following Sundays too. So Mitchell, I don't know if Dwight's going to return. I hope so. I just think it makes sense for sure. Hey, when's your next book coming, and can you sign some? Chris, next book will be out first week of October, maybe a little bit before, but I'm trying to get that first week of October. But the way I have it set up is that it's ordered through Amazon. It's not, I don't actually see that. It's made through the Amazon company, and then they produce it and they ship it out to you. So I don't ever get to see the actual final copy of that. That's just set up for the production of it. But if you have the books and you bring some to the conventions or somewhere I will sign some for you. Just bring a Sharpie or a pen or something. I will sign the inside cover for you. I definitely have done that a couple times for some people, and I like that. I think that's the best way to do it. Maybe down the road, I'll be at a couple conventions. I'll have my own booth, or I'll have something on there, maybe at Comic-Con in Tampa or somewhere because that's the closest convention for me. But thank you guys for joining me this Sunday. September 2nd. It's just pretty awesome to see that we're in September. We are about a month away from The Walking Dead returns October 7th. Fear the Walking Dead will be on tonight. Definitely going to watch. I will have my review probably Monday or Tuesday. I got a couple things going around. I got to start my Sunday, Labor Day weekend. Stay safe. And remember, guys, have a good one. Be safe. And with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Never give up on your dreams and aspirations. You can truly achieve them. And believe in yourself. You can do it. Thanks, guys.